You could be stir crazy, like a chicken with no head, or you could be still, calm, calculated, focused. I am a neurodivergent alternative educator practicing self-directed learning. And today in this video, I want to talk about killing distractions, creating deep focus, especially if you have a neurological difference, like me. Let's dive in. So, when you're trying to accomplish something, there is clearly a preferred route, which is to be focused, right? Because if you're not, then you're just all over the place. But if you're neurodivergent, it can get a little slippery. You might be sensitive to your internal chaos, which is natural because we're all chaos. Chaos is just the stuff of life. You might be more attuned to the external factors, like you might be more cognizant of the environment, right? Whatever maybe for me, like I have a mood disorder and I'm also pretty empathetic, I don't know. But that means that if someone around me is very angry or very upset or very nervous or whatever the negative emotion is or whatever the positive emotion is, it tends to be more contagious than I would like it to be. So what do you do? Okay. 3 steps: plan, observe, and then just start. Okay. Plan is very important. This step is very, very important. Perfect example is that I planned this video this morning separately than actually doing it. So when I am tired and I don't feel like actually recording and I'm not in a mood to do any of this, I don't have to waste all my time with the planning and the preparation and then end up getting nothing done in the window that I said I was going to do the thing, because the bulk of the doing has been done, the mundane stuff, right? So like, for example, if you're making a big meal, you might prep some of the ingredients. You might look up the recipe. You might do the dishes in preparation for cooking. It's very similar. So plan. So visually, you're going to dump out all the tasks, either pen and paper, or if you like typing, type it out. And you're going to document, brain dump, brainstorm every single thought, idea, task that's on your mind. And then you're going to chunk. So you're going to dump and you're going to chunk. And you're going to chunk based on, well, it really depends on you, but chunk is sensible, right? And finally, eliminate distraction. What this means, this could mean put your phone on Do Not Disturb, but I completely respect there are a lot of people out there for whom this is not feasible. Either they have children, they have someone dependent on them, they have a business, they don't want to go on Do Not Disturb. So if you have a way of turning off certain notifications, you could do that. The idea here is to get rid of distractions, and these days, in the year 2025 and beyond, distractions are predominantly digital. They're predominantly online. They're predominantly in this thing. So dump, chunk, and then eliminate anything that is unnecessary. Get it out of the way. Planning ahead is super, super essential, right? And this can be helpful for people with neurological differences because it's just as we're sensitive to internal and external conditions. This is one of the conditions that we are attuned to. So in the same way as something distracting would be a greater threat, this is a greater benefit, I believe. This is just my 2 cents, but I believe that we the neurodivergent people, are in greater need of planning ahead, chunking, dumping, eliminating. We are in greater need of these things, not as crutches, but as systems, and we can benefit from them more than your average Joe Schmo, neurotypical person. Okay, step 2, observe. Step 2 is interesting because you're observing, but only for the sake of compartmentalizing, of separating from it. So what are you observing? Your body and your mind. You're doing like a body-mind check. And you're doing this because you want to recognize, are you feeling nervous? Are you feeling angry, frustrated? Are you hungry? And you're not actually going to do anything about it, but this allows you to observe and say to yourself, maybe even in some kind of written or vocalized way, that you're going to deal with it later, right? So if like I'm doing something right now in this moment, but I'm hungry, I might say, okay, in an hour from now, I will eat. In 2 hours from now, I will eat. Right now, I really have to get this done. I'm not going to starve, but I really have to get this done, right? So acknowledge that it's there, whatever it is, whatever the feeling is, whether it's physical or mental. Don't act on it right now. Literally dump that and chunk that elsewhere, right? So you're going to want to put that outside of your deep focus time. Step 3 is you just begin. Step 3 is actually the hardest step, I think, but you just begin. And I've found that a way to do this in a effective way is to begin with the smallest possible thing for the hardest, most impactful possible action. What do I mean by that? If the most impactful action is to finish a project, like a freelance project that you're working on, right? Let's say I'm designing something, and I'm putting it off, I'm procrastinating, and it's the last day. So obviously that would be the most high impact action that I could take. By doing the easiest, smallest task related to that, I'm starting in a way that feels low pressure. I'm starting in a way that feels easier, more manageable. So the idea here is it has to be a 5-minute, max 10-minute task. So you want to give ideally it's 1 minute. Like if I'm looking into my bookkeeping and I don't really feel like doing accounting stuff, I might just open up the document, the spreadsheet, and that's the task that I did. That's the task that took all of 30 seconds, but it allows me to just get my toes wet, and then I'll dive right in. Momentum will take over from there. These strategies will work whether you are neurodivergent or neurotypical and you're just trying to battle distraction. The idea is to plan, observe, and start small. And if you need extra support, you want either one-on-one or community, then there are links for both of those things in the description. And I hope that this helped you to really think about strategically what can you do to get rid of distraction. And if you implement any of these things and they work or they don't, let us know in the comments because I would love to hear how other people end up using this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.